All right. That's our address right there. Protecting this gutter with a pitch hopper. Couldn't put a gutter guard in there. As you can see, there's already a lot of granular loss on these shingles. See if we can find a loose one. We'll make this one happen. You can tell they're very brittle. Just need to get a corner of one. Okay. Got a 20-year shingle. And let's see what that exposure looks like. Five-inch exposure. All right. 20-year with a 5-inch exposure. Pretty sure it's going to be a standard. Just double check. Yep, 36-inch. All right, so you see we got some obvious wind damage. I'm gonna put my caulking gun right over here. So I need to cover these nails, so I'm gonna put it on top of that chimney right there. All right, let me go grab my other pitch hopper and we're gonna play Frogger on this roof today. See a crease right here, kinda. Is it loose? Yep. So you can see that crease right there. I like to do videos because I can prove there is no hurricane handstorm, just real wind. And I also told the homeowner I would tack his gutters back in because they're kind of working out, because he does not have drip edge, which is an essential flashing that protects the builder's gap from the edge of the roof and that fascia board. Just looking over this, lots of granular loss. Don't see anything else. Over here I did catch, there is some crease shingles. So you can see that right here. It is sealed down again. That line is very prominent though. So I'm gonna mark it. And we're gonna make our way to the edge of this roof using pitch hoppers. I love these things for this reason. Just scoot it on down. You could do the other system where you just use one kind of like a walker. I do that all the time, but when I'm inching up on the edge, I do the two system. And I believe this is only a 9 pitch. I mean, it's not extremely steep, but 5 kids, I'm gonna make sure I get home to them in one piece. No need to be reckless when there's a way to be safe. When we're installing, we use rope. That's what's required by OSHA, but for inspections, you don't need to have a rope. So you're not breaking any rules if you're using a goat or a Ridge Pro, just as long as you have something. So you can see here, and the gutter's coming off. You see that gap? Big gap right there. Just take my foot, kind of hold it. That'll hold for quite a while, but I mean, essentially what's causing that is the wood's getting soft. That fascia board is because there's no edge flashing. There's no protection against that water running off the board, the decking, and behind that fascia metal. See here, I'm gonna kind of help put this underneath the shingle. So that's the way it should be. Just kind of try to be careful. Looks like it's already kind of getting tore up. There you go. So that's what you want it to look like, actually overlapping instead of this gutter guard. I'm not going to do that for the whole thing because then I own it, but that's the way it should be. Like that. I'll just do it to this end piece right here. You can see that gap right there. So I'll just help this one along. But the more I manipulate these gutters, the higher risk I have of damaging these shingles. So that's why I'm not going to do it. As you can see, it's tacked up there. I mean, that's as good as we're going to do right now, unless you want to, like I let him know, add drip edge, and that's a lot of work. You got to remove all those fasteners on the edge, make sure it gets tucked underneath the shingle on top of the starter. It should be the best way to do it. Now looking at these shingles, I mean, these things are in pretty rough condition. I'm gonna kind of feel around. You can see, make sure, get my hand. So what I'm doing is I'm just lightly feeling. I'm not trying to cause any damage. I'm just finding where that seam is and just feeling along. All these shingles are pretty glued on there, which is pretty good. It's good. It's good to see these are adhered. Now there is a lot of granular loss. You're gonna really see it on a white shingle because it's white contrast on black mat. And the mat's made out of fiberglass, and then the granules are adhered by your asphalt bitumen mixture. And that's that black you see there. And that black's actually, that's gonna start gassing off. All this, it's gonna gas off. And then When you start to see the roof shine, that's when you know it's completely gassed off and it's left the bones of the shingle, also known as the fiberglass mat, exposed. And that's when you start having issues. Because I'm sure there's just a felt paper underneath here. And when you have exposed fiberglass, well, that tar paper is going to do the same thing as the asphalt bitumen binder. It's going to start to gas off as well. It's not rated for UV light at all. So as you can see, I'm just kind of carefully hopping along here and just going to any shingle that I may suspect might be loose. If it looks like it has a line across it, like wind caught it. And that goes my blade. Yep, that's my... Luckily, I won't need that for anything today. Just usually have that clipped on. So I see another shingle right here. Looks like there could be some damage to it by wind. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at that. We got a 3-inch pipe jack. We'll just confirm real quick. 3 inches. All right, so we got the shingle here. Nope. So it looks like it could be wind, because you got this line here, but it's not. It's adhered. And there's not really a clear line, but I do see something that would resemble it. Yeah, I also like these pitch hoppers paired with cougar paws because it just guarantees that I'm not damaging the roof. That's a big deal to me. Make sure I leave it better than how I found it. So this is the non-windward side back here. Looking for a satellite. So that satellite points south. So I know this is the north side. This doesn't get a lot of wind usually. I'm still going to look at it. Sometimes you do find wind on the hips near the ridge. Sometimes vortexual wind will travel up the elevations and hit the edge of the roof pretty hard. I've seen that before. But so far it's looking pretty clean. And you see it's got a lot more granular retention to it as well. Now it looks like there is some spots where there's some embedded granules in these divots. That could be really old hail. But you know, typically if you don't see broken fiberglass mat at this point, you don't see that exposed fiberglass mat. Might not have been big hail. Does it mean that the fiberglass mat is not broken? No. I mean, it could be, but from my standpoint, it looks fine. Like, it's not good, but I mean, it's not to the point where water's getting in. This backside's looking a lot healthier. We have 3 pipes. Looks like they might all be 2-inch. Just confirm real quick. That's a 2. Yeah, my guess is this is only a 9 pitch. Got an exhaust stack right here. I'm guessing that's a 4-inch. Yep. And it looks like our homeowner, who let me know he put these up himself. I mean, these gutter guards, for the most part, they've been doing a phenomenal job. I mean, for being self-installed and just some chicken wire, I mean, it's not bad. You can see they're a little clogged up over here, but here on the right side, I mean, it's not bad. You'd expect a lot more traffic in the gutters, but I have to say, it kind of depends. I mean, if you live in a place where there's a bunch of tree coverage, you should probably upgrade your gutter guards. Something a little bit better than the chicken wire is what I call this stuff. I really do like the very small mesh with the grooves. I think that stuff is so nice. And you can save a lot of money if you don't go with a name brand. Just get a good installer. I like the way they caulked this pipe. They cover those nails really well too. That caulking's covering those nails perfectly. That's a really good job, whoever did that. Another 2-inch. And you can tell, I mean, this is pretty straight line roof. So you know, they probably even use chalk lines. I love to see that. Love to see old roofs that had some pride in their workmanship. This is a good example of one. Just from what I'm finding, if we don't have any damage on this side over here, this is probably not going to be something that we should try to repair right away, just because, you know, we can do some temporary stuff, keep this roof lasting a lot longer. And I do like to do free temporary stuff, like, you know, spot sealing. And I do a spot seal by doing dollops of caulking. I don't just do a line, because you'll trap water in the shingle. So don't ever do that. But yeah, just feeling around. I mean, all these shingles are still sealed. I mean, it is looking like a good roof. So I like to record this too, because if Zebedee ever, our homeowner, lets anybody get on this roof and they end up vandalizing it, there's a lot of proof that it wasn't vandalized before, especially if they get on before there's a big storm, you know. There's no storm, and 2 weeks from now somebody gets on his roof and they're claiming there's over 100 creased shingles. Well, yeah, that's a hurricane handstorm right there. So yeah, I'm just kind of feeling around, let the camera kind of follow my hand, see what I'm doing. It's nothing. It's a good looking roof, honestly. It does have some really bad granular loss on the front, and the back is starting, but I mean, we could stretch this roof out for another 5-6 years, especially because it was a quality install. You could tell whoever did this actually cared. So you see, we do got some wind damage on these ridge caps right here. Yeah, it's another 2-inch. I'll just take a video real quick of that. Lost one of my straps to my camera. I went kind of cheap, but been nice so far. I think it was like 10 bucks for this holder. It's not a GoPro, but then again, an iPhone has better quality picture than a GoPro. 2-inch. Yeah, so what I'm seeing here, move this right here. Is we have some creased ridge cap, but it's sealed back down. But you can see that wind crease right there. That's absolutely wind damage. Sometimes it's picked up, and then once it folds it back from the wind, it kind of lays back and then it reseals. So I have seen that happen quite a few times. So right now, I'm seeing a shingle here. So this is not wind damage. You see how this is still sealed here and here? So this is called detabbed. So it's not wind damage. If it was actually torn off the fastener and I could verify that the nail was installed at the right height, and usually the hole, it needs to be rounded but not perfectly circular to indicate that it wasn't overdriven either. I even like to keep quarters or something in my pocket that measures the same thickness as these shingles. And if I ever find a fastener where it is torn off of, for a good picture, I'll stick, that quarter or something underneath that nail just to truly prove it. And I'll even do a side-by-side comparison. I'll hold, like an edge of a shingle with that quarter or that washer or something, just to show in the picture that they're the same thickness. Those really go a long way. I've gotten a lot of roofs covered that way. Just being very good at communicating those details over picture. So we're just looking at a roof that is actually, I was thinking it was going to be a lot worse, because you look over there to the neighbor and you're like, try to focus here, see if it stops. You see they have chalk all over their roof. So I was thinking this one would have damage too, like that, but it doesn't. And I'm pretty good at spotting stuff. I mean, if it's here, I'd find it. Yeah, in this market, so I've worked all over the United States. In this market, they rack their roofs. So the shingle, the seam where two shingles meet, they just go straight up at a staggered course. And that's actually really good for wind resistance. So, there's two shingles right there. I see some, maybe those are picked up, and that is some wind creasing. So we'll see what's going on. But, yeah, this market in Atlanta, Georgia, I mean, the way they install roofs out here, at least 3 tabs, because architectural, you have to do it per manufacturer specs, and it's kind of at a diagonal pattern, the no waste pattern, where you start with, you're usually do like a 4-inch piece and a 6.5-inch, 5-inch. So right here, still sealed. Yeah, this roof is doing a lot better than I thought. We're gonna knock those gutters back in with our hammer over here. Yeah, I guess that's surprising over there to see so much damage over there. And that roof looks pretty new. Hey man, if it's legitimate, do a good job documenting it. Hopefully that roof, for the homeowner and the contractor's sake, is irreparable. And they can prove it to the insurance so they can get a replacement. But yeah, doing repairs on that with how much that damage is everywhere. Yeah, I mean, you're getting into the system pretty hardcore. All right, so same thing like over there. You can see this gutter is starting to separate itself pretty bad. Good news is it does kind of just straight nail right back in. So I'm probably gonna have to set my ladder up and do a new screw right there. That one ain't grabbing. So I'm gonna get out a big screw and we're gonna replace that and move that over a little bit. Because that one's done. And then I'll spike that guy in. He's a little loose too over there. Yeah, but that guy's done. Set it up to where the shingle's on top of the miter box. It'll make it easier when I come back. I'm just gonna get my tall ladder and set it up. I'm probably even gonna leave a pitch hopper here so I can set it up really easily and then just walk up the roof with one pitch hopper, you know. So I'll do that now. Get over as much as I can so I'm not near his truck. And I'm off the gutter with my ladder. We'll be good to go. Just like that. Yeah, just not seeing the damage right now. I'm just gonna grab this rake, kind of get set up here with my feet as flat as I can make them. And then use this pitch hopper like a, kind of like a walker. Just keep your feet flat. That's how I do that. So no damage on this side over here. I got that one there. Got that maybe right here. And I'm gonna cover these nails when I get my caulking. I'll remember that. Kind of mark it with an N so don't forget. And goodbye. Don't forget my knife or my chalk. So he says there's having a leak right here. Let's see why that could be. Ooh, yeah. I see why that could be. Look at that. So we got lifted shingle right here. So the best thing I could do for this guy, do a temporary for him. Caulk the line. And then caulk the nail. And do a glob there, glob there. Still looks like a wind crease, but at least it's not going to get water in. But we got to fix this right here. That's pretty bad. Yeah, that's getting water in. So temporary, you can see it's getting in right there. This stuff is brittle. We're going to fill this up. Just completely fill it. Okay. Take my glove off.